Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and in this vlog we'll talk about how I almost bought another E46 M3 and what went wrong. Alright guys, so in this vlog we'll talk about how I almost bought another E46 M3. As you know, if you follow the channel, I had a 2003 Laguna Seca Blue Coupe, 6-speed manual with 10,000 miles, and it got stolen. So I've always been kind of trying to replace it with the car as close as I could get to that spec. Unfortunately, the prices have gone way up, so I'm looking at cars. I was looking at cars with more miles. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and share it with your friends so our channel can grow. I'm a commercial real estate agent as a living, and that's what pays for this channel, my real estate commissions. So if you're in New Jersey and you have any leads to buy or sell commercial real estate, or you're just at a tenant and want to renew your lease, contact me at glenscarcollection@gmail.com. I'd be happy to represent you. All right, so every time I see, since my car got stolen, every time I see a Laguna Seca Blue Coupe 6-speed manual, I say at a Cars and Coffee or anywhere, even going to the supermarket, going out to get milk, I always give the person my card and I say, hey, if you ever want to sell that car, please, I used to have one just like it. I'd love to replace it one day. Whether you want to sell today or 5 years from now, please call me first. So I did this at a Cars and Coffee last year, and hopefully I remember the timeline. It was probably last August, and I was still at my old job, so I wasn't unemployed yet. Which I've been at 12 years, so things were good. At least I thought they were. I was working on some big deals, which I wound up closing, and then I was out of a job. But I didn't know that at the time. So again, I saw this beautiful mint condition Laguna Seca Blue Coupe. Mine had a black interior. The only thing with this car, it had the gray interior, and I really wanted black. And my car was a sunroof delete, and this car had a sunroof. But it looked in fantastic shape. It looked lower mileage to me, so I gave the person my card. And I think it was just my real estate business card. And I said, if you ever want to sell, please let me know. And the guy looked at me and he goes, is your name Glenn? And he didn't recognize me from YouTube, because that happens a lot at car meets. But turns out, about 2012 or so, I bought a 2008 Porsche Cayman S. And I love that car. That was my second Porsche. The first one was a 2002 Porsche 996 C4S. I sold that to get the Cayman S. At that time, I was doing a lot of autocross. And I actually had set up the C4S really good in autocross, and I did really, really well with it, like top 3 finishes. And I wanted to go for mid-engine, and if you know anything about the all-wheel drive 911s, the trunk is very shallow, the front trunk, the frunk they call it. You really need a rear drive 911 to get the full trunk, as you can see in the 996 video I did way back when. So the Cayman S rear drive has the deeper front trunk and also has the back trunk. So perfect. I used to take that to hockey all the time. I even drove it in the winter with Blizzaks on it. I got a cheap pair of Blizzaks from somebody trading in their Cayman on the new 981 Cayman. So obviously mine was a 987 Cayman, first generation in 2008. So what happened was I met this guy. I was thinking of putting an aftermarket exhaust. I had driven a modified Cayman, and that really sold me on getting a Cayman that was bone stock and modifying it myself. So what made the biggest difference for opening up that engine, since it was a little down on power compared to the 911, was to have a free-flowing exhaust. And I wanted one that was loud. It wasn't a daily driver, so I wanted one that was like a race exhaust. And actually, I met this guy online on the Cayman forum, which is called Planet 9. And he was local, and he had, I'm guessing he had a Remus exhaust, but he had a second generation, which was the DFI engine 2009 Cayman S. And he's like, yeah, I'll come to your work, we'll go out for a spin, go out to lunch or whatever, and this way you can hear my car. So I didn't get to drive his car, and it wasn't necessary. I just wanted to hear the exhaust. And he took me out for a ride. I totally forgot all about that. And it was the same guy, but he had sold the Cayman S for this Laguna Seca Blue M3. And he had just bought, I think he's more of a Porsche guy than a BMW guy. And he had told me, we were just talking, because I gave him my card, and he recognized me. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you. It was like 5 years ago, whatever. So yeah, he said he had met me like about 5 years ago. And I said, oh yeah, I remember that. And then he had bought the M3. His was a 2001, which was the first year here in the United States, the first model year. And he just bought a Porsche Boxster S. I think the new generation, like a 2014 or something, 2013. And he loved that car, and he didn't really need both cars anymore. So first of all, he wasn't thinking of selling it all, but I kind of like lit the candle under him, lit this spark by saying, hey, if you ever want to sell. And he's like, you know what? I really don't need where I live. It's kind of like an urban city living. He goes, it's tight having two cars. It'd be much better if I just had one. And he's like, maybe I will, And I'm like, oh, great. This is awesome. So I had the S2000 up for sale at that time, and the S2000 has since sold about a month ago. And I actually put it for sale originally because I wanted to get a club racer. I love my S2000. I thought I'd be able to sell it and, put that plus cash and get one of the club racer models. And, then we do that and maybe do some track days or something with it because I didn't want to track that car because it was so pristine, my 06 S2000. So I'm like, hey, the S2000 is ready for sale. I'll buy his M3. Maybe he'll be ready. And then he was like ready right away. He was calling me the next week, let's buy it. And I probably, since I was still working and I didn't know I was going to lose my job, I probably could have bought the M3, and I think I would have. And then just the S2000 sells when it sells. And if I had to, I could always lower the price if I wanted to get it done. And it wound up selling pretty much for full price to somebody who wanted like a perfect S2000. And so now I convinced him to sell it, and he wanted to sell me right away. So we got together at another Cars and Coffee. He brought all the service records. I did it for a drive on the same roads that I do a lot of these videos on, and it was great. And I was like, oh, wow, this is perfect. And then I went down the shore for a week in New Jersey. That's what we do in the summer. We go down the Jersey Shore. When I got back from vacation over Labor Day weekend, we were going to consummate the sale, a couple days before Labor Day, after Labor Day, whatever. And he sent me this real long email. He's like, Glenn, you're going to hate me, but I just can't do it. I drove this, took it for a drive last weekend, and I just fell in love with the car all over again. I just can't do it. I can't sell it. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Even though I was so excited, because I wanted to complete the circle. Since my car was stolen, I wanted to buy that car. I was going to go back to like my old office building and where it got stolen and show you guys everything what happened. So that was the first thing I was going to do with it. And now like I finally I was robbed of having that car, and now I have this car again, and that car I'd probably keep forever because I know what it was like to lose it. So, when he told me that, I'm like, that's fine. He's a really good guy. If I ever change my mind, I'd want somebody to respect that. So I did. I'm like, okay, that's fine. The S2000 hasn't sold anyway. So, I don't need 9 cars. That's ridiculous. 8's fine, but 9 is ridiculous. So then literally a month later, at the end of September, September 28th or whatever it was, 29th, I got laid off. So now that would be the dumbest thing I could do was to buy that car because I'm not trying to sell it for more money or something. I'm paying probably market value for it, and because we had agreed on a price, and I was going to keep that car forever. So now I have to insure it, I have to store it in the warehouse with the other cars, and it would be expensive. So I couldn't buy it, so I'm glad he changed his mind. Our last Cars and Coffee in the year, I see him in November, and it's a cold day. And he goes, you know what? He goes, and I told him, and again, I keep lighting the spark on this guy. I got to keep my mouth shut. I told him that I said, look, whether you want to sell it, next week or 5 or 10 years from now, just promise to call me first because it's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't think I'm going to find a black interior and sunroof delete. So this is close enough. The car only had like 40-something thousand miles on it. And I know he's a meticulous owner. I forget how many owners there were on the car, a couple. Maybe he was the third owner. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. But it was exactly what I was looking for. So again, he's like, all right, well, I'll think about it. Like literally the next day, he calls me and he goes, all right, I'm ready to do it. I'm going to do this kitchen renovation, and the selling that car is going to pay for my kitchen renovation. So I don't think I told him I was unemployed, and the S2000 hadn't sold yet. So obviously if I'm unemployed and not having any money coming in, and the S2000 is going to be money I'm going to wind up living off of, that even though I wound up getting a job, because the winter came and I just sold that car recently, but I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So I'm like, if you can wait till the spring, because hopefully by then I'd be working, and it would have worked out because I sold the S2000, that I would do it. And he's like, no, and who knows, maybe once he had a sight on selling it. So he wound up selling it for more money, and, it was disappointing, but, I had bigger problems. I had a car to sell. I had no job, a family to support. So, I mean, like now I wish that I had it, but back then, I had bigger problems, so I couldn't worry about it. So that's how close I came to buying another Laguna Seca Blue S2000. I know all of you are tired of me, sick of me talking about that car got stolen, but I guess I do feel violated, and I hope to get one in the future. Even though I'm working again and the S2000 is sold, I'm looking at a daily driver or possibly with your vote, the M2 competition. So there is nothing coming up for a Laguna Seca Blue M3. But, remember, if we can get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to start looking for a project car. So maybe we can get one then. It won't be a pristine low mileage car. Maybe it'll be, certainly a stick shift high mileage car. But that could be a candidate for a project car that we can build into something. But again, we need 10,000 subscribers for that. So remember, if you're watching this video, hit that subscribe button. Remember to like it and share it with your friends so our channel can grow. Check out our website, glenscarcollection.com, the Facebook page of the same name. And if you want to see what I'm doing today, go at my Instagram. I don't know why I say us. It's just me, Glenn's Car Collection. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Take care.